Hi, I hope you're all doing well today. I just wanted to come on here quickly. I know my battery's already low, but I'm going to try to do this quickly. And I know my last video that I had done, that nighttime haul, was slow and rambly, and oh well, someday there'll be videos like that. I try really hard, but I'm just me making videos in my sewing room, so sometimes they're not the most professional. But in any event, I wanted to come on here, and I have been waiting, till Joann's finally closed and to do like the final haul. But I don't think it has to be that dramatic on my end. I just thought I would just catch you up because I'm gone there not every single day. Oh, Tigre's doing some scratching on his scratch pad. I've been going there a few times a week over the last couple of weeks, for mostly to stock that one fabric. You can see it right there, the black and silver one. And I was really glad that I did that. I finally succeeded at that. There are two, maybe three other fabrics that I noticed from last week that they just recently have brought in, but it's not like dire. They're very, very beautiful, and they are unique, that I know that I would not only appreciate it if I got them really on sale, which I think they're 60% off now, but I'm holding out. I'm just gonna hold out. I went there today thinking that the prices would change, but they didn't. So so far today I actually got only these two remnants. That's another thing I've been doing, is stocking the remnants. It seems that people maybe just buying the 3-yard limit, and then I guess they're leaving maybe a yard, because I've been buying 1-yard remnants and they're 75% off. So that is a really good deal. So the two of these, both 1-yard pieces, were a total of like $3.23 with tax. So I'm thinking this one is going to be a bag. It's a beautiful, pretty heavyweight, I think it's a satin. I haven't unrolled it, but I'm pretty sure it's a satin. So that's really nice. And then this one I'm envisioning to be beautiful billowy sleeves. It does have a bit of a stretch thread through it, but here, let's open it. And this was 1 yard, and I know that this was a close to, if not over, $20 a yard fabric, but I thought that is gorgeous. And I am hoping to make like some sort of little bolero out of this, and hopefully I have enough that I can use this excuse me, as the edging for the sleeves. Ooh, that would be really gorgeous. So I'm really happy with that. I don't know if you can see, it has a little bit of a sequin in it. So the two of them I was very happy with. I am not just going to go in there just because the stuff is on sale and they're closing. I'm being so particular, because I know soon they won't be there, but I also don't want to, like I think I've said before, I don't want to fill up my sewing room with stuff just because it's on sale. I want to truly get stuff that I know I'm going to use and that I truly love, and it's my style. So last week I had gotten this beautiful ultra suede, and I'm pretty sure there's over 3 yards here, and this was, I believe this was 70% off. So I'm very happy with that, and I'm hoping to make a kind of 1950s long kind of fitted, not super tight, but fitted kind of mid-calf dress. I think I should have enough to do that. So I'm very happy I got that. I did get 2 patterns. I think I mentioned in the last video that my Joann's had no more Vogue. I don't know if somebody came in and just bought all of them, or if they shipped them to another store. I don't know what, they're not sharing the inside stuff with me, but I know I had gone to the other one, the other Joann's that's almost an hour away. I went last weekend, and I will show you the fabric. I got one fabric that day, and I got some trims, and I got these 2 patterns because they still had Vogue. Now, I don't know if it was my mindset at the time, or maybe it's just because I love the patterns so much that I have in my collection, that I was so particular looking through the pattern book, and they had, you know, drawers and drawers of Vogue patterns, and they were now 80% off. So I was very excited, and I had nowhere to go. I had the time blocked out, and I was super excited to just stand there. No one was in the pattern area. They were all buzzing over in the other part where the fabrics were. So I was just, you know, it was one of those like nice leisurely moments. And I only found 2 that I really loved. So that's okay. I just thought that I was going to get so many. I thought I was going to get so many of the vintage Vogues. And I thought, but I don't know. Vogue patterns just not, to me, are not what they used to be. They used to be like super artistic styles and stuff like you didn't see in any of the other pattern books. But as I was looking through, it just seemed like stuff that I either already had a pattern like that, or it was just, I don't know, ordinary, I guess you could say. So maybe that's just my point of view and the mindset I had, but I want, if I'm going to get a Vogue pattern, even if it's 80% off, I want it to be like, wow, like something that I know is probably going to be something that's going to take me a while to make, or it's something that, you know, is really a standout piece. So anyway, that I had gotten this one, and this is a Vogue, numbers inside. This is a Vogue 2078. 2078. Now, this is kind of funny to me, where they have 2 capes, a shorter one, a longer one. I guess one has a collar and one doesn't. That's, I don't know, that's so strange, because they could have put the one with the collar on and then you could just leave the collar off, and they could have put a different design, but that's just my 2 cents. But this is why I got this. Stunning. And that's the line art. So that was the one. I have had this on my wish list for a long time, and I am hoping to make that. And I also got this one, which I'm not so sure. Now, maybe I'll change my mind once I make this, but the shorter version is the one that I love of this. I think it's a little bit overpowering for the long one for me. I'm sure somebody's made this up and it's absolutely stunning, but I feel like because it's got the fluffy ruffle and the big bow, and then I'm big chested, I think it'd be like too much. But like I said, that's just me personally, but I love the short version, and I definitely am looking forward to making that. Now, this is advanced, which you always love to see that on a Vogue pattern, but it may be advanced just because they include things like pleating and seaming, and there might be, I'm pretty sure there's boning in this. I can't see with my contacts, but yeah, so in any event, I did get that, and that is Vogue 1861. That's another thing I did in my last my last video. I'm like, yeah, I got this pattern, I got this pattern. I had to put the numbers on the screen. So I did get 2 buttons. I would have definitely bought more of these. They were 80% off. And I am thinking that I'm planning on making that dress, and I'm thinking that somehow around the shoulders I would like to attach these. So I thought those were really pretty, very sparkly. And then I got 3 trims because they still had a bunch of trims at their store. So that was pretty exciting. And I just bought whatever they had on these little bolts, and they gave me the bolt thingies. So the first one is this gold, very pretty sheer. This would have to go over something. It's far too scratchy to be like against your skin, but I thought that was really beautiful. And all of these are at least 2 yards. Some might be a little bit more, but with the 80% off, that was an amazing sale. This one, again, I also thought of this for, my battery's dying. For some sleeves, I thought this would be gorgeous if it was all kind of gathered up. So hopefully I have enough to do that. And the last one I got, I think there's like 4 yards of this one. This is a very, very soft lace that looks very vintage. And I had to get some of that. Very beautiful. Hopefully there's enough to put in the bottom of a skirt hem. So I did get those, and the fabric that I got was something that they've had for several years. I'm sure those of you who have been Joann patrons for a while, you probably would recognize this. They had it in several different colors. I know at my store they had kind of a blue, they had a very, very mustardy yellow, and they had this color. Originally, this is $49 a yard, which even when they gave their coupons, it was never going to happen. But when I saw it for 80% off, when I was looking around, I was like, yes. They just had a little bit more than a yard, less than 2 yards, but that I think is more than enough because it's 60 wide for me to make like a little jacket, which is what I always ever wanted to make out of it. So it's this beautiful velvet and is so soft. It's quilted. The inside is finished, so I don't even need a lining. So I am super excited for that. That was a big find, and it was on the bottom of, you know, how the home deck fabrics hang over. But I was determined. I was looking and looking, and I said, I want to make sure I look at every single fabric here before I decide. So I did, and I found that like at the bottom. So I was very, very happy with that. Let's see. I think that's everything that I've gotten so far. I'm not sure. I mean, at this point, my store is probably like 95% empty, and they've actually roped off with like caution tape the whole back of the store there. Like, you can walk around the path of the back of the store, but you can't go down any more of the aisles because there's nothing there. And yesterday there was patterns, but today I went and they're gone. They're not anywhere in the store. So I'm guessing that either they sent them to another store, maybe the next closest one, which is the one I went to last weekend, or somebody came and just bought them all. I don't know. But gosh, those pattern cabinets are still there, and it frustrates me so much because I'm like, what is the reason? Like, why aren't they selling them? But in any event, so I did get that. I wanted to give you a few sewing updates. I have had this top. I had gotten this a while ago, and I had thrifted it. It was brand new with tags. It's a Free People bodysuit. Very, very boho. And then the back had these beautiful little crochet buttons. However, the buttons, you cannot get the little loops over the buttons. So that is the dumbest thing ever. A very bad manufacturing. And the crochet buttons are so pretty. But it feels like they have like a button inside there because it feels kind of hard. So I'm going to have to replace those because I really want to wear it. And I've just got these little clear ones that were, you know, in my drawer. So I figure, well, I have these. So I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of little tasks to complete things, you know, that just kind of sit there, or you can't wear them and you just put off either the repairing or the changing of like buttons and things like that. I want to just make sure that I do that before I start any more big projects. There's also a dress that I want to show you that is almost complete, and I'm very excited. And if somebody will let me, can you say hi? No. I also have, let's see, what else do I have to show you? Okay, we'll do this way. So this is the dress that I just have to finish the neckline and the sleeves and the hem. And this is McCall's, let's see, 8501. And I made view B. And this is how it's coming. This is one of the fabrics that I had gotten from the Joann's when they first announced they were closing. This was in the clearance. And I thought that I was originally going to cover this with like a sheer lace or something because I thought it was too loud. But now that it's made up in this style, I don't know. I really like it the way it is. So I'm glad that I didn't cover it up with anything. I think this style is just perfect for this fabric, and I'm really looking forward to just finishing that hopefully this week, and then I can start wearing it. And then this McCall's, let's see, what is this number? 8597. I did make this hat view A, and you can see the back of it there. And I made it out of this vintage damask tablecloth that I had. And you can see the back. I didn't do the kind of bow that they asked for. I had made a bow that I really love, but I thought it was too heavy on there. So I decided to just put this lace one with the little button. So, and I sewed this little trim around it, and then there was a bit of a stain on the top, but I put this trim up there, which, you know, you're really going to see when you're kind of like moving around. Most people are not as tall as me. So yeah, I lined it and I love it. I love the little, let's see if I can show you. I love the split in the back. I think that's really cute when you're wearing it. I can't really wear it right now. I've got like makeup and I don't want to get it on the hat. The only thing I could say for me personally, I'm not a floppy hat lover. I personally don't think they flatter me. This one, I think I would put a heavier interfacing in it the next time that I make one. But I really do love the pattern. It went together very easily. It's very nice, and I am definitely going to make more. And I think what I'm going to do with this bow is I'm going to make the purse, and then I have the bow already ready. So yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. So I think that brings you up to date what I'm working on, what I have gotten at the Joann's liquidation so far. I'm not sure how much longer. They say that some ladies have said they're going to last to the end of the month. I think if they do one more markdown on the fabric, because most of it is still 60% off, I think if they do one more markdown, because there's so little of it, it's probably be gone in like a week. So I am not sure how much longer they're going to be there. I was getting choked up today. It's going to be okay, I know, and I'm very thankful for not only what I've been able to get from the sale, but I'm thankful for being patient and thinking critically about what I was getting and not getting swept up in, you know, the emotion of it and thinking like, oh my gosh, they're closing, like I need to get everything. Like I said, there are about 3 fabrics that I am still watching that they've recently put in there, but if they're not there, they're not there. But I'm not going to pay the 60% off for it now because they're expensive fabrics and I want to get the best deal I can get. So anyway, I love you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm hoping to do some styling videos coming up. Like some of the things that I have made, I want to kind of style them and maybe show different ways that I'm wearing them, instead of just like, this is a dress and I just wear the dress, or this is a skirt and this is how I wear it, like one way. I'd like to show, you know, when you sew things, to try to get, you know, the most versatility out of it. I know sometimes, like even myself in the mindset, like I'll go to the store and I'll get a pair of pants or I'll get a blouse and I'll wear that with so many different things. But for some reason, when I sew things myself, I kind of forget that I can wear this all different ways. And I don't know if it's like a bad habit or something, like I make a dress and I just wear the dress, but there's lots of ways anyway that things can be accessorized. So that was just a thought for an upcoming video. And other than that, I love you. Thank you so much for watching. And I hope you have a wonderful day and that you stay abundantly inspired. Take care. Bye. I forgot to film this roll of black fabric that I got in the remnant section for 75% off, which ended up being for a whole yard, which ended up being cheaper than buying this fabric per yard. And really, I just needed some to finish the bottom of this little stool. And for, I'll have leftover. But I forgot to share that, and I need to lint roller this with all of Tigra's hair.